Good morning. Welcome to the morning brew. What an awesome week. I mean, I've just been blessed. Kids are back to school and just seeing the smile on their faces, being back into the regimen of things, and being blessed with some great teachers, and just it's good to just see them engaged again, and not this constant wonder if things will be back to normal. But again, welcome to Morning Brew. Glad to have you. This week, actually, after listening to Monday's devotion with Brent, he hit on something that he spoke about the Gideon, the story of Gideon in Judges 6 through 8. And he made a comment or stated a phrase that he felt was the key point, was important. And I agree with him. It was a very, very important point pulled out of that verse. And he said that obedience is the key to lifelong success. And then kind of dwelling on that and chewing on that and just digesting what I heard, I then came across a devotion my wife had sent me again. And she does devotions every morning and she sends me what she reads. It's really cool. But a verse that stuck out to me that she read was Ephesians 5:15. And I put those two together and meshed them. And I just kind of like, wow, obedience is the key to lifelong success. And I thought, when I think of life, I think of my time and how important it is to glorify God with my time. But how often do we go through a day or an incident happens or things or we go through portions of our day and we have the thought of, wow, that's a couple hours I won't ever get back, right? And we think that, and circumstances happen. I'm not trying to be critical of your day, and yes, things do happen. I mean, heck, I was on the phone with Xfinity a week ago. 2 hours I was on hold. Luckily, I had speaker and I was able to sit in front of the computer because it was mind-numbing. Right? That was 2 hours of my day I couldn't get back. But I want to think of it more on a spiritual level of how often do we go through a day and we go, wow, what did I do with my day? Did I touch any lives? Did I impact anyone? Was I that vessel that God calls me to be? Was I that person that God calls me to be? And I think that's where it comes in, that obedience is the key to lifelong success. Because you see, if we consume ourselves with the things of God, his desires will be there. And when we go through our days, we're not going to feel like they were wasted when we're done. We're going to feel fulfillment. Psalms 37:4, delight yourselves in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. And again, that the intent of that scripture is say that if we fill ourselves with him, that our desires and our motives throughout the day are going to be of him. Paul says in Romans 8, verse 6, and he's talking about the things of the flesh, right? I'm going to start with verse 5. And he says, those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on what the flesh desires, but those who live according to the Spirit have their mind set on what the Spirit desires. See, in verse 6, it says, the mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. And it comes back to that key point Brent hit on Monday, is that obedience is the key to success in life. And it's not success when you think of materialistic, it's the success spiritually. It's that peace. It's that completeness that we feel. And I just think it's so important that we come into each day and that we seek the things of God in each day and seek to obey him, because through obedience we find fulfillment, we find peace, we find comfort. So how do I get that? How do I do that? And I think it just comes back to what Ephesians 5:15 says. When you look at Ephesians 5:15, it says, be very careful then how you live, not as wise, but as wise. And in 16, it says, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Sorry about my tongue tie. So again, it says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. So I just think it comes back to, if you've heard me speak in the past, I like the word deliberate. I like the word intentional. And I think it is so important that when we start our day off, that our steps are deliberate and our intentions are spirit-minded. And as we go through our days, and as we go to work, and as we play with the kids, as we fellowship with the family, and we fellowship with our friends, as we coach, we do our activities, fish, whatever it might be, whatever we're doing, there's an eternal purpose in it. And there's a life that can be impacted. And there's a moment, there's a God moment within everything we do there. God can teach us something and show us something. So as I leave you this weekend, just sit there and think about the thought that Brent gave on Monday, that the obedience is the key to success. And it's not success in a materialistic way, but success spiritually and in our personal lives. And go ahead and read Romans 8:5-6 and Ephesians 5:15. And just study those scriptures this weekend and think about because what I'm going to do is thinking about how I can have better peace and fulfillment through each day, and what I can do better to have a God purpose in my days, and just seek Him and let Him guide me through my day, so that my day, when I come to the end of my day, I can sit back and say, wow, man, I really got a lot out of today. There's purpose, I have peace, and God was able to use me. And let's make our days intentional and deliberate. So God bless. Have an awesome weekend. Romans 8:5-6 and Ephesians 5:15. Take care.